everyone, this is Direwolf20, and welcome to episode 20 of Direwolf20's Let's Play of the Direwolf20 mod pack. Just like being able to say 20 like 6 times in a row in that intro. It's my favorite episode. So today we're going to get more into applied energistics. I want to do some automations. I decided I wanted to automate the charged Certus Quartz crystal. So for that, I'm just going to real quick get myself nice little inventory here to interact with. That should be cool. Where do I want to... A couple ways we could do this. I'm probably just going to put it here for now. And then we're just going to break a couple blocks. So I'm thinking we want to extract from this inventory, like so. And we're going to say whitelist Certus Quartz. Is that cool? And then behind this dude, we can have a very simple set of pipes. Boom, boom. And we will whitelist. If I can get an angle on there that I can click on it. There we go. Whitelist charged Certus Quartz. Okay? So, put items in and extracted and inserted. There we go. Yes, working. It's a little slow, but that's okay. We'll be able to speed it up soon. But the good news is I can just leave it there, and it'll run, right? Like that's kind of cool. All right, easy peasy automation. I decided that when I automate this guy, I'm also going to use Modern Dynamics and see what I can do. I want to try. Usually I automate this with Laser IO, which we haven't gotten to at all this season because everybody always complains that I use Laser IO too much. But I will be getting to it at some point because, of course, I will be. But yeah, well, I want to try when we automate these dudes. I'm going to do it with the Modern Dynamics pipes because, yeah, of course I will. That sounds fun, right? So between episodes, I did a bunch of mining. You know what I found? Here's a pro tip. I found that if you really want to get a lot of gold, run around the Nether. I'm going to show you just how good mining in the Nether for gold versus underground for gold can be, especially when you have a nice pickaxe for it, okay? Well, I mean, this is probably a really bad example because there's a lot of this, but let's give it a shot, right? Oh, that's going to take a long time. That must be a really large vein of gold. But this Nether gold ore is kind of everywhere. You can spend like 10 minutes in the Nether, like 10 minutes tops, and you'll, like, immediately come back with like a stack of gold. Like, gold is not hard to get your hands on if you do it in the Nether. I'm just saying. Yeah, this must be a really large vein because this is taking a long time to break. I always get excited. Like, it's an unintended side effect of this, of Ore Miner from Just Dire Things. But I always get excited when I go and I'm mining and like I start breaking a block and it takes a really long time to break because that tells me that it's like a giant amount of gold. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, that was cool. Now let's cover this dude up. There we go. Because I thought I saw something underneath it. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that gold. Let's let that lava all disappear for a sec. Ah! There we go. That should clear that gold out. I like Extinguish because it's like it doesn't protect you if you get hit by lava, but it definitely helps with like blazes and stuff. But that I should note that like later versions of Extinguish are better. And there is a future upgrade that's like just pure straight up lava immunity. Alright, so that's pretty cool. Look at all this gold I got now. But like I'll just demonstrate it with like a normal node. Like here's Nether gold ore, right? I just come over here and I mine this real quick. Excuse me. Yeah, that's right, run away. Dude, did you see that guy? Literally, yeah. But look, I got like a little over a stack. Right? And boom. Like some of them are smaller than others, obviously, but that's a decent sized one, right? So trust me, if you're looking for Nether, or if you're looking for gold, I feel like the Nether's a better place to go get it than looking underground. Because, like, those nuggets add up real quick. Cool. Then you come back home and you just shift K and look, boom, 13 nuggets. But if we factor in all the nuggets we got here, all right. Granted that little node was like was a uncommon. I don't know how uncommon it is, but it's not vanilla. But there's plenty of nuggets out there, right? So look, a few minutes in the Nether, got myself a ton of gold. All right, now that that's handled, let's go talk about getting this AE system up. So last episode we set this whole thing up, which is going really well. Lots of Certus coming from it. Most of these, like this one here, are gonna break, and once they break, I'm just gonna get rid of them, and then convert them into Certus. Cool. And this guy's doing a good job of making charge Certus, so that's cool. I did go upstairs for something specific and forgot to get it. That's okay. I want half a stack of quartz so that I can make... let's do you, and you. And I'm going to turn you off for a sec. Go ahead, everybody convert. Hooray! And then magnet up the results. Cool. Now we've got a bunch of Fluix crystals too. So let's get the foundations of an applied energistic system up and running. So what are we going to need for this bad boy? First off, we're going to need an ME controller. That's going to need Fluix crystals, and it's going to need a few skystone blocks. And you may remember last episode, we got a few of those from around the meteor that we went out and mined. So skystone blocks. Where are blocks of coal in here? They belong over here, buddy. But where'd my skystone blocks go? I know I got some. I got some. Where did I put... Did I put them in the chest downstairs? I probably did. Because this was all my... Yep. There we go. That was all my applied energistics stuff. Cool. And that's your ME controller. Nice. This is like the brains of the operation, okay? And we'll talk about kind of how everything works as we play through this mod. So like, let's just kind of put it in the center of the basement. Does that sound cool? I think so, right? That's usually where I like to throw this thing. And then what I'll do is I'll run power cables. I'm going to get rid of this energy acceptor. We don't really need him anymore. And by the way, you can use wrenches to pick up any applied energistics cables or power cables. Much better than breaking them with a pickaxe. So uncivilized. So I'm just going to run these dudes. And that's cool. And then he should be powering up. Nice. And what in the what is going on here? Why is there all this stuff dropped? What happened to that? How did that happen? That shouldn't have happened. Weird. Super weird. Figure out what caused that. I must have done something wrong. But I've been making more blaze ember fuel. So now this thing's powered up and it's online. You can see it's passive channel drain. It'll tell you how much AE, which is like the power units from AE. But if you click on this, you can toggle it, right? So it's currently using like 6 forge energy per tick. If I go reconnect these dudes, which I may be able to reach, it looks like it's going to be tight. There's no way I'm going to reach that. We're going to need a few more of these, but that's kind of why I made what I made. Okay, a few more Fluix cables. There we go. Then we can come back and see how much forge energy we're using to keep the growth accelerators going. So it looks like, 32 FE per tick, so it's probably 16 each. And that's pretty cool, right? So now we know how much energy it's costing us to keep this thing running. And just keeping the controller online is using a little bit of energy, but not a big deal. Something we can probably manage to afford, right? Let's actually pick this dude up. Cool. Because my battery's almost full, so I'm excited about that. Nice. Look at that. Battery full. Looking good. All right, with that set up now, let's get into what we're going to want to make first and foremost, which is two important things to make. One, this mod is all about storing items. So we want to get a block to store the disks that store these items. So the first disk we usually make, or I usually make, is the 4K ME item cell. Disks in Applied Energistics can only hold 63 different types of items. So like you can store like tons of Certus quartz and you can store some gold, but like once you have 63 different types of items in the disk, it's considered full, regardless of how big it is. So generally speaking, unless you plan to store like millions of cobblestone, I don't make the bigger disks in regular Applied Energistics. That said, there's other disks you can get later on that can store an infinite amount of item types, and that's pretty cool. All right, so I figured I'm going to need some more fluix glass, so decided to get some more glass. So real quick, I ran over to my lake over there, my river, and harvested a bunch more sand. And if you don't believe me, look, lower durability on my blaze jet wand, because I flew over there. All right, so let's take a look at what we're going to make next, which was going to be the disk drives. So the 4K drives are going to store items, and if you put them in an ME drive, you can have like 8 or 10 of them in there, so you can store a bunch of items. So that's what we want to make. So the ME drive is really easy, just a couple engineering processors. That's the diamond one. So we get one of those. And now the 4K drive is pretty straightforward. It just needs a 4K storage component, which is 3 1K storage components. So the general pattern here is that getting higher tiers lets you store a slightly bit more of items, so it's good to upgrade. But, like I said, because of the limit of the number of items that can go on a cell, you don't want to go too high, at least with this tier, right? But you'll notice we need 3 cells that can store 1,000 of an item, and now we can get one that can store 4,000. So let's get 3 of these, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to go with 6, because why not? Okay. And then we can upgrade those using quartz glass and a little bit more quartz dust. And get ourselves what am I missing? Redstone? I can get that. I actually mined for more redstone because I was a little bit low on that when we started this episode. Well, right before we started. Okay, and there's another 4K cell. Now I noticed these needed copper, so I should have grabbed that while I was up here, but meh. Okay. So these guys can be stored as an ME item storage cell. There's also fluids. There's also the deep storage that requires netherite, which we will absolutely be getting because I love those. And there's a bunch of other cool stuff you can do with this, right? All kinds of neat things that we'll take a look at. FYI, you can also make the cell housings and insert the storage component into them. So a cell housing is basically the same recipe without the cell in the middle. That's just like a neat thing to note. So now what we've got is I'm short one of these dusts, because of course I am. And 2 ME storage cells. So now I can hold a total of like 8,000-ish items, but 2 times 63, which is 126 different types of items in the cell. So generally the way I build my AE systems is anything that I plan to have a lot of, I put in a storage drawer system, and anything that's like a few random things or like a smallish amount of, we'd store in the cells. Because we don't want to fill up these disks with items. We want to use them to store like things that we don't have a ton of, like tools and breaking things that don't stack and all that stuff. So let's get the disk drive and this thing set up now. So what I generally do, and this is very familiar for folks who've watched my series before, is I hook up something like this. I throw a thing here, and then I put my drive here, and now there's slots for the storage cells. They go right in there, and that looks pretty cool. Now there's all kinds of cool stuff you can do with like priority and determine like, you know, when items go in here, when they don't. Like if I make this a lower priority, what'll happen is if you're inserting items into the AE system and there's multiple places it can go, it'll go to a higher priority first, and it'll come out of a lower priority first. So by making your disk drive the lower priority, kind of makes it so that disk drive is the last place an item goes. as it sits right now, this is the only option, so that doesn't even mean anything. But in the future, we're going to have other places that items can land. Like I mentioned, that storage drawer system. So we're gonna do that. Okay. Now while we're upstairs here, I'm going to go ahead and create my first crafting terminal. The crafting terminal is a way to access the items in the AE system. The ME terminal lets you access the items. The crafting terminal lets you access the items and have a crafting table, which, in my opinion, just go straight for the crafting terminal. There is no reason not to. Now for that, we're going to need some fluix dust and some nether quartz. I don't have fluix dust yet, but I know where to get some, and that would be right down here. So I'm going to go grab probably a healthy amount of fluix dust. Okay. There's one. And that's pretty much it, unless you want to go Crusher from Mechanism or Crusher Spirit from Occultism. And that's two. And now I can get my formation cores, which are basically used for anything that's going to like form items. And then annihilation cores, which is basically used for anything that's going to convert items into energy, right? So like basically it stores it as data. So you're converting items to energy, and then you're converting energy back to the same item. Unfortunately, you can't convert from one item to another. Sorry, this is not that kind of mod. All right, so we're going to need more quartz glass, which needs more of that, and we're going to need some glowstone. I'm going to put away some of my... Well, I'm going to try to put away some of my mess in my inventory. You can go away and go there. I don't need you at the moment. Energy acceptor is probably not something I need. I'm going to put that away along with you guys. That's probably a little bit cleaner. All right, more dust, please. That's not dust. Okay, and then we're going to need more quartz glass, and we're going to need... Didn't I say I needed glowstone? Okay, so we're going to get the illuminated panel, and we're going to convert that into an ME terminal. Now, if I wanted to, I could install this right here. And to do that, we just attach some cable to the top of this guy. We could attach it anywhere, like because AE, like everything's connected. So as long as it's connected to a cable, we could put this terminal anywhere we want. And now we'd be able to see everything that exists in the AE system. And there's all kinds of stuff we can see here. Like I'm going to do terminal style. I like tall. I like full height. Like the more the better, right? Now I can just put like whatever I want in there, right? All my stuff's now in the AE system. Oh, it feels so good to have an AE system. But I'm not going to use that one. I want the better terminal. I want the crafting table one. So for that, I'm going to need a crafting table. So I might as well go get all the items that I had because I'm going to need some of those things, right? And you'll notice as you're holding shift, it kind of won't change things on the terminal. Not just a convenience thing, but when you let go of shift, it'll update and remove anything that no longer exists. Okay. So now we can come over here and upgrade this dude to a crafting terminal. Aha! So now it's basically the same exact thing, except we can craft in here. And when we request things, so for example, if I were going to say I want a crafting table, when I click that, it's going to pull the oak planks out of the whole system here. Is that cool? And anytime I craft, watch my oak planks, boop, 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 it's just automatically grabbing them. Good times. Okay, I don't need that much. Well, it won't hurt to hold on to them. So there's all kinds of stuff you can do. Like I like to sort by the number of items and also sort descending. So like the stuff I have a lot of is at the top and the stuff I have less of is at the bottom. That's my personal preference, but you can sort however you want. There's all kinds of other stuff, configure visible types, and that's new. Ooh, terminal settings. Oh my goodness. Pin auto-crafted items to first row. Yeah, definitely. Notify about jobs finishing. Yes, automatically clear terminal grid on close if applicable. Well, that's cool. I like that. Might want that on. I'm not sure. Search settings. Use AE, use JEI. Remember last search. Cool. Autofocus on open. And sync with JEI search. I like all those things. So anyway, you can search for things in here. So you can do like, show me all my quartz, right? And there's anything with with quartz in the name or QU in the name. You can search by mod. So if I want to do like at AE, so here's all the applied energistic stuff. So most of the same searching you can do with JEI, you can do up here in your terminal, and then you can easily, you know, craft more stuff. So that's awesome, right? I love it. All right, now before we get too crazy with this, the next thing I usually do is set up a drawer system so that I can store like the things that I have a lot of, specifically things like gold, diamonds, like, you know, stuff that I'm going to have a lot of goes into a drawer system, and then I hook up the applied energistics to that storage drawer system so that I don't have to fill up all my drives with a ton of stuff. Okay, so we're going to go do that probably nowish. So let me get all this stuff out of here, and we're going to go kind of drop it in the AE system, but then we're going to organize our AE system again when we're done here. Cool? All right, so the first thing we're going to want to get is a bunch of drawers. For that, we're going to need a bunch of wood, and probably a not unhealthy amount of probably redstone and other things, probably. Not coal, but I want coal for other reasons. I do want some quartz, though. So let's look at what we want. So from functional storage, now we get to see what it looks like crafting with an AE system. Let's first just get like a nice simple oak drawer. So what I'm going to do is just get like a bunch of chests. That's probably a good start. And then we can get oak drawers, right? And I'm going to take just one basic one to start with so that I can initialize it by getting a storage controller, right? So for this, we're going to need some redstone torches, 1, 2, 3, and we just drop them right in there. And they're there. It's just, you know, you can't see them at the moment. And then if I had some stone, I could do that to get myself. So like, see, redstone torches are there, but we just don't see them. So you just trust that they're in there. And then we can get you. Again, stick in the AE system. And then we're just going to need some quartz blocks, 2 of those. And finally, we just need, oh, we actually need 2 drawers. So I might as well get another one of those. Cool. And you can see, because I'm looking at functional storage, it's only showing me functional storage drawer things in there. And then we're going to want a couple stone-like blocks. So that should be cool. And I've got my first functional storage. Cool. Controller. The other thing we're going to need is, from Applied Energistics, there's a thing called a storage bus. What this does is allow you to make it so your AE system can see the contents of any other inventory. So you could attach it to a chest, and the AE system would see everything in the chest. Or what I'm going to do is attach it to the storage controller, and the AE system will see everything in the storage drawers that this storage controller is connected to. Does that sound cool? That's what we're doing. So for that, we're going to need a couple of pistons. So we're going to need just a little bit of cobblestone. And I'm just going to toss like a stack in there just so I have cobble for this. Right? So throw those pistons in. And then we're going to need an ME interface, which needs, again, one of those formation and annihilation cores. Okay? And now we've got the storage bus. So again, like, you know, if I, let's demonstrate this, right? So I've got, you know, this is what's in my AE system at the moment, and most of those are populated in this first storage cell. You can see we have 36 different types of items out of the 63 available, and we have about 1,200 out of 4,000 bytes used on the disk. So whichever one of those numbers fills up first, this disk is considered full, whether it's based on the number of types we put in there or the number of items that go in to fill it up. Now, if I were to take my cabling here and then attach it to this storage bus to this this chest, all of a sudden we can see all the stuff in the chest. So see that 81 soul sand? It's right there. 64 and 17, right? So if I take, you know, those 2 stacks of soul sand out, they come out of the chest there. Now, when I insert them, because this is set to priority -100 and this is set to priority 0, this is a higher priority than this one. So when I insert them, the soul sand is going to go in here first. Cool? Cool. And that's what we're going to do, except instead of doing it that way, we're going to attach it to the storage drawer controller. Now, to go along with that storage drawer controller from functional storage, I'm going to want a bunch of drawers. So first off, I'm going to get a whole bunch of drawers. So what I'm going to do is convert you into a bunch of oak. So that should be cool. Okay. And then we can get, let's do a dozen-ish, maybe 18. But I'm also going to want probably 18-ish. We're going to want like a decent amount of compact drawers. I never have enough. I always think I have enough, and then I don't have enough compact drawers. So I want a lot of compact drawers here. I put these 18 away for a sec so I can get compacting drawers. So that means 36 of these. That's going to be expensive. Not terribly expensive. Totally doable. Feel like we're going to need more oak. Are we out of oak? I think we're out of oak. That's okay. I've got a solution for that. It's called an axe and a tree farm that I have set up. Well, not an automated tree farm, of course, but... Well, these bad guys out here. That's right. I need my arrows. Haha, I love that slowness. That's so cool. Look at him. Look at him being all slowed. Super cool. Loving it. I need to make that potion thing a little bit better, and I'm like trying to figure out how to make it like cooler than it is, because it's cool, but I'd like it to be cooler. Like some bow upgrades I'd like to do are like maybe at like a tier 3 or 4 I could add an energy arrow type thing that like you would basically be infinity. Like my original plan with the bow was like you have to get infinity if you want infinite arrows, but like part of me is like, why don't I get an upgrade in there so that I can have like energy based arrows? But I want to make those energy arrows more than just an infinity, right? Like I want it to be something of actual coolness. And then you know, I should do something like with the potions that make it like basically as you get a higher tier. Maybe it uses less potion, or maybe there's like an upgrade at the higher tiers that uses less potion, to the point where it's like almost uses none. Maybe not completely uses none, but makes the potion last like a lot longer. I don't know. I'm spitballing. I'm you know, there's things I want, and but I'm trying to keep the mod pretty well balanced is the thing. So we'll see. So that's a little bit more. Cool. Okay, so now from functional, we can get a bunch of compacting drawers, and that should be cool. Except, do we need like stone, or would this work? Nope, that does not work. Okay, so I think we need stone, don't we? Which means we need to get a bunch of cobblestone smelted. We get 4 stacks of it. Is that cool? I think that's cool. So there's 10. Okay. And then there's 18. Nice. And then usually what I like to do, one more thing from functional storage, I'm going to get... that's going to be 6. That could be cool for now. And then we'll expand this as we go. But I like to have some smaller drawers available. Oh, that's right, you get 4 per. That's all right. That should be fine. It's only wood. It's only wood. So now I'm going to build like a big wall of storage over here. That's basically going to be all the stuff I want to store in the AE system. That's going to be large, right? So generally, what I'll do with this is have something like this. I'll have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Why did you do that to me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and then we can do the compacting drawers. And then we can do these. Cool. And then go in there, come out. Thank you. We'll put the storage drawer controller somewhere that's going to be like, you know, easy to access. Maybe here. That works. Yeah, that works. And then we can have our storage drive here. and then we can run some cables to it across the ceiling. Now, there's one nuance of applied energistics that I haven't talked about yet, and that is channels. Every data object on applied energistics, anything that interacts with data in some way, like drives, like terminals, like that thing, uses up a channel on this wire. And each side of a controller has 32 channels available to it, and normal wires can transmit 8 channels. And then there's dense cables that can output 30 or transfer 32 channels. So the gist is right now, I've got 3 things connected here. I've got the disk drive, I've got the terminal, and I've got that. That's using 3 channels on this cable out of the 8 that are available. And in the future, we will craft cables that show you that a little bit easier. Now, what I'm going to do before we change much here is I'm going to make sure that this guy, and we're going to switch to multiple mode by shift-clicking it. And we're going to connect all these dudes. Do you not reach all the way over there? Is that too far for you? You bum. You bum. What should I do about that? I could just leave it as is and remove those last drawers. And then if at some point in the future we decide... If at some point in the future we decide we need more of these, we can move the controller. Cool? Okay. So you're going to go... so you've got all that covered. Now I'm going to lock all the drawers by clicking that dude. Now they're all locked, and they can only receive items that I give them in advance. Is that cool? Oh, and speaking of my coal, yeah, go do more coal crafty things, please. And how'd you guys make out? Full of blaze ember, getting there. You're nice and not moving, right? So that's looking pretty good. Sweet. Okay. Looks cool to me. And you're using how much FE? You're using 18 FE per tick? Okay. Looks good. So see how it's like dropping and then filling? Cool, right? All right, so I'm going to say it's about wrapping up point for the episode. So let's come back next episode, and we will get all of our resources stored in the drawers. So that'll be a good time. So for now, Del20 signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. When we come back next time, we'll get all these drawers populated with all our items, and then we'll have like a pretty well functional AE system. All right, for now, Del20 signing off. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Take it easy.